Just to clarify, these views that we speak of on our podcast are 100% our own and not those associated to anyone from Luton Town Football Club. Thank you very much.
And welcome to a whole brand new season of Oh and the Town. It's great to be back. Look forward to another exciting League One campaign, and hopefully last one for some time. Were we happy with what was going on at the incomings and goings of the summer? Of course, we're going to talk about the opening game of the season, our League Cup win against Gillingham, which I thought, really, what a bizarre way of starting the season with a League Cup game. Didn't feel quite right, did it? We asked you, how impressed are you with Jack's first proper squad? Because let's be honest, it's his first time this season when he's had all the control. Are we going to be challenged for those automatic promotion places? We've got your views on that. We have your first three-word review of the season and lots more. And with me tonight, you'll see two faces. One that we joined us at the end of last season, and Darren. So I'm going to say hello, Darren, but welcome back, Kev. You've come to join us for the whole season this time, and I look forward to it.
Thank you, Dave. It is a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, it's great to be back.
But just for these people, Bataro is still with us. He's just got something personal going on, and I'm sure he's going to reveal that at some point. What a summer. What a summer. Now, listen, let's touch on the World Cup. I don't mean the official FIFA World Cup. No, I don't mean that one. I mean the World Cup of Luton players that we did. I thought that was quite fun. Thanks to everybody for taking part. Yeah. If you didn't take part, you missed out on voting for your best. No surprises who won it, though.
No, it kind of felt like no matter how they come out the hat, and was totally random, it's always going to end in a couple of players, isn't it? But there were some tough draws in there along the way. Some that you really didn't know which way it was going to go.
That's true, and there was a couple I think we discussed. God, this is really close, and we had to have a recount on one of them, and it was fun. If you didn't watch it, you didn't see it, and then it was Mick Harford who won the Luton Players World Cup. A bit of fun. Thanks for joining in.
And the real World Cup was won by Spain, who I predicted was going to win it.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, you can check it.
When did you on the podcast?
On the podcast, you asked me who you think is going to win it. I said
it's an easy pick, Kev. Really, let's be fair.
I mean, did you literally pick it out of a hat?
No, just out of my brain. And you fire enough things out there, mate, you'll get one of them right.
Oh, you got that one.
Before we start properly, if you're watching on YouTube, could you like and subscribe? And if you're on the other channels, please zip over to YouTube and like and follow. Because there's some exciting things coming up in the near future, and you don't want to be missing out on that. We talked about the signings over the summer period, and we've gone straight in for a couple. No surprises who's left so far, I don't think.
No, I think it's what was to be expected really so far, and some good incomings, and I think the ones that needed to go have gone, and there'll probably be a few more over the course of the next couple of weeks. And I think Jack's come out, hasn't he, this week, and he said, look, there are a couple of players that's definitely not in my squad.
Do you know? And I really like that about Jack. That there's no messing around. We as fans, we all know the situation with Mengi. Just come out and say it as it is. We've had like the Doughty situation. Was it last season or whatever?
Alfie was never going to stay beginning last season, was he? When he was there, and the Tedden thing, his injury stopped him from going, I think, previously. So I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
As for the strikers that are leaving or should be leaving again,
I think the only I'm going to be honest. I think I'm a bit disappointed we didn't get to see Nordas just a little bit more. And obviously Jack's seen what he doesn't like about him as a player and how he's going to set up for the season. So, he's clearly not part of the plans. But I guess there were just a couple of moments where he just thought, there's a player there, right?
Exactly,
there's something
maybe
there
there's a player there. Because on his loan period, though, he scored a couple, hasn't he? And you're just thinking...
I go back to pre-season last year, and I remember Southend, and I think I said to you guys, I was like, he's not that level. I don't know, but enough people have now looked at him, Kev, and gone, he ain't
no.
League One level, so not for us anyway. So, but yeah, there was times last season where you kind of almost was screaming out for a player like that. But yeah, we wish him all the best. Let's see where he ends up.
Talking of strikers, incoming from West Ham, young Callum Marshall. He wasn't he Huddersfield's player of the season at one point? I think he was there.
Yeah, 2 seasons ago.
Yeah, have you watched what he's done? What's your thoughts on him coming in, Kev?
I mean, I've watched snippets. I think that the showreel looks great, doesn't it? I mean, showreels always look great.
My showreel looks great, Kev.
I imagine it's incredible, like really fast, agile.
Yeah. Is that the one where you dressed up as Panto Dave?
Yeah. But it was an interesting signing. I don't think anyone really sort of predicted that. It sort of came from nowhere. He's done a bit in League One. He's sort of then kind of been out, not really doing an awful lot this last season. Couple of games at West Ham. Look, time will tell. I mean, I felt a bit sorry for him. He was chucked in on that the last pre-season game for 45 minutes. You could tell he hadn't played an awful lot.
He chucked in a lovely challenge, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, but I'm excited. It's a new number 9, and we've got to get behind him. I think
100%. We just we're desperate for it's almost like a saviour, isn't it? We just want somebody to come in and
start scoring. Because we create chances and not putting them away, and that ended up being our absolute problem last season. If we'd have just converted some of those 1-pointers to 3, we'd have been in the mix of the top.
He's going to be far from the finished article, but we just got to give him time. I think he'll have a supporting role this season. I think Wells will be the number 1 striker. But let's see. You got somebody to learn in him from Wells there. Harford's still around the place. He's in a great place to be to develop.
He wants regular football. He's not getting that at West Ham. If he's going to progress, it's now. And we're the right club to take him on for that, because we've done it before.
Yeah.
Harrison Ashby, I've got to be honest, don't know too much about him.
No, I didn't either. But, he's had loans at Bradford, QPR, Swansea. So that tells you they've all had a look at him. I don't think he's played loads of games. I think he's played 50 games in 4 years or something like that. So he hasn't played loads of games, which is a little bit of a worry. But clearly he's of a level.
I mean, I literally saw a glimpse of him a couple of times in pre-season. Obviously, he played at the weekend, came off the bench I think that's his job. He's going to be off the bench. But look, we know Jones, he doesn't stay fit for the whole season. Yeah. We need cover in that position. So... yeah, look, I hope he does well. He's young, he's eager, bright. So, we'll see.
Yeah. One of my favourites was the signing of George Johnson. I think that is a big scoop, really, for us.
It's incredible. It's how quick we got that over the line and got him in. I mean, he's been at the club ages now. He's properly settled. He looks the business. And again, arguably, had we had him last season, if we'd had Hacks available for the whole of last season, we'd be in a very different position. But this is Bolton's captain from their playoff final. I'm absolutely astonished they've moved him on, but delighted we've got him.
Yeah, I agree. I think the other thing is he's played nearly all of pre-season with the team. He's always been partnered with Vax, and look, I think they're the starting 2 at the back, aren't they? And they look strong, composed. Yeah, really, really solid, and you want that, and the composure that he's already showing.
He's old school. He's a League One defender, but I don't know. Just from what I've seen of him, you look at him and go, yeah, I think he could probably do a job in the Championship. I'm really surprised, but their loss is our gain.
That is their loss, yeah.
Wow. So, but let's talk. It was pre-season one of the most successful ones we've had for a while. I mean, obviously the Hitchin game goes without saying. We play it every season, and it's just a warm-up for everybody. But there was, 5 goals. It gets everybody happy and looking on. And then Barnet. Let's go on. I can see the face there. But
it's so hard.
They're pre-season games, though, aren't they? They're just for fitness levels.
But Barnet, I mean, it was pre-season. It was poor. Really, really poor and slow and ploddy. I think, they got to build their fitness up and everything else. I just struggled to see passages of play and what we were trying to achieve. And actually, we'd had an interview from Jack, and we were saying, say it as it is, and he did in saying he doesn't see Gids as a left winger. He doesn't see Jake as a right winger, and yet that's where they've played all pre-season. Or whether it's hard to call positions now, but winger, right forward, left forward, whatever it wants to be. So he said, I don't see him there, but then he plays him there, and I'll come back to that point in a little while when we talk about the Gillingham game. But Barnett was atrocious.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But we didn't lose, and then there was one game where I know that 2 people went for a fiesta.
We
in
went
Spain.
on our holidays, Dave. We had a great time.
Can I ask, what was the old black stuff all over you?
All the mud.
Yeah, where was that from?
Oh, they had salt marshes, and then you put mud on yourself. It's really good for you. People spend hundreds of pounds for that type of treatment. It was free that day, wasn't it, Darren? Free. Yeah. Absolutely free.
Absolutely free.
Yeah, I wouldn't have taken the photograph and put it up on the internet though. That's what
let alone put it on the video.
That must have been a great experience going over there with the other Luton. There's quite a lot of Luton over there, watching a pre-season friendly in the sun.
It was incredible, absolutely incredible. And you got Cambridge over there, Preston were over there, Port Vale.
Yep.
And there's just fans everywhere. We stayed right near the ground. I know people stayed all over the place. But after we went to the mud bath thing, we sat we went to grab an ice cream, and literally on the chair to the side of me is a guy that lives a couple of streets down from me. He drinks in the local pub, and I know we were all there for Luton, but to be in that cabin at that time, but we were everywhere.
Stalker.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, I think it's a great trip, and the morale, but also I think it brought together the sort of towards the end of the pre-season this kind of feeling of togetherness. I don't know if you feel the same, Darren, but it was like obviously everything that was coming out on social media about the team, the club that week, it was all about connectivity, and I felt that it manifested it in a way so positively with all the fans. And look, I think if every fan that went said they were rebooking for next year, you'd book your ticket, right? Yeah. And I think in a way, I don't want everybody to know it was that good.
And not where we stayed and what we did, because it was brilliant. But
do your wives listen to this podcast by chance?
Not a chance.
No, okay, just checking.
But I think just the atmosphere around the ground, that little bar area, and it was just the togetherness was incredible. We got a little bit of our Luton back.
Which is what we've been asking for, and Jack has been trying to install that in the club. And
the game itself was all right.
Yeah, they weren't probably the best opposition to play. It got a bit spicy, didn't it? Actually, there was
for no reason.
Yeah, I think every time we put a tackle in, the opposition players didn't seem to like that too much, and people. It was a hot day as well, right? So I think people were losing their heads a bit. But look, I think it was a good run out. We saw some good play. I think the play developed in that game, and I think you can see how that's progressed over the course of the last couple of weeks. So, it was good. It was a good day out, and hopefully something to build upon.
Yeah. Go ahead, Eagles at home, 1-0 loss, but still again getting up to game speed. Behind closed doors, 5-0 Walsall and 4-1 again against Go Ahead Eagles B. So we've been scoring some goals, and this is what we've been missing last season.
Yeah, I had a look through, and through all of these games, I think there's 10 actually, and then with Gillingham, 11 different goal scorers across those games.
Crazy.
That's brilliant. And actually, we're not relying just. I mean, Palmer hasn't scored, has he? Oh no, he got one against Hitchin, but apart from that, he hasn't scored.
Count.
Yeah,
but where you're thinking, we're going to rely on Palmer or rely on Clark, actually. They've scored a couple, but it's being spread all the way around, which is really positive. Yeah,
it is. But I also think, Wales, I mean, I know it's a different quality of opposition as you move through it, but he's consistently scoring goals. And, scored at the weekend, right? Yeah. And good goal, good finish.
Yeah.
So, look, we need our strikers scoring, and they've been doing that in the pre-season.
Yeah. So, before we talk about the Gillingham game, somebody needs to check out who we got in the next round.
This is on me.
It's happening as I've
got big news, everybody.
As we're live.
We have got Premier League opposition.
Oh.
They play in blue.
Oh, yeah. Brighton.
Chelsea.
Where?
That is a really good question. I'm not that good at finding out that type of answer. But we are...
By the time everything watching
going away to Stamford Bridge.
Wowzers.
So that isn't bad, is it?
Wowzers.
Yeah, last time I went, it was fun. Even though we got lost.
Yeah.
Got lost.
Got lost.
And we got beaten.
We got beaten. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's look. There's a chance that's going to be on TV. Do they put the?
Guaranteed. I mean, that is definitely.
Is it still
TV.
90 minutes pens?
I would have thought
it is.
so.
Yeah.
Jack would be all over that. He would love that.
Wow. Well, let's talk about the game.
Well, hang on. Sorry. The last time Chelsea manager Alonso. Last time we come across Alonso, he slotted one in our net from his own half. Didn't he?
Liverpool. Yeah.
Happy days.
Yeah, but that was just because there was no goalkeeper in the bloody net that day. That's what I would say. It just.
I'm just saying. I guarantee that'll be played out somewhere on some footage.
Of course it will. Yeah. Let's talk about the game. Gillingham 0, Luton Town 3, which actually got us to that next round. Your 3-word reviews from that game. Hitash says fitter, stronger, prepared. Nick, team already gelling. Diana, Morris, a great start. Brian, a good feeling. Mark, positive first game. Mega Dark Flame, proper professional performance. Rob C, thoroughly dominated Gillingham. David Murphy, top quality debuts. Mark, and many others. Benny. Do you want to pick one and let me know what your thoughts are?
I'm gonna go with the crowd, with Benny. It's been a long time, I think, since we've seen a debut performance like that from a player, and just the kind of enthusiasm, the passion, the drive, the movement down the left wing. Like, he just looked like he was unstoppable. And I know it's Gillingham, and I know it's, I felt a bit weird about it being the first game of the season, and it felt a little bit like it was a friendly rather than a cup game. But that boy's got something about him, hasn't he?
He's according to Hatters Heritage, is the second youngest Luton-born debutant to score.
And the youngest was the lad in the cup last year, wasn't it? Was that?
He's the 11th youngest overall, but the second youngest to score on his debut. Brilliant. And he's been with the club since he was 7.
Yeah, academy, right? So
we should give him that quote so I could have looked up the young lad's name from last season.
Too late.
The centre half. Someone put it in the comments.
Your 3-word review, Darren.
I am going to go. Can I not say anything about Benny?
Oh, you can, Paul.
There we go. It's really exciting. It's really exciting. I want to try and be a bit more half glass full this season, because I know I'm quite miserable. So it is exciting. We have to stay a bit grounded with it. It was Gillingham, and for me, it was a poor Gillingham. I know we were really good.
I agree, they were poor.
He scored against Walsall in the closed doors game as well. So there's a level, but again, if we can support him and get behind him and not push him, there could be some player there. Mm-hmm. It is exciting, really exciting.
Your 3-word review then.
I'm going to go with Mega Dark Flames. Proper professional performance. I think that's what we're just starting to see with this team now. Look, I don't think they're always going to get us out of our seats. I don't think it's going to be electric moments, and we're going to use that word from last season. There will be moments, but we're going to be a possession team. The ball's going to come backwards a fair bit, and we're going to recycle and work our way up the pitch, but in a real professional way, rather than we don't know what to do with it, we've got no outball, whatever. It's structure, it's played that way. And now I think we're starting to see a Jack Wilshere team. And it is exciting. I think we've got to look at it as a season overall and look for the main goal, rather than go, I'm going to turn up for 90 minutes and I want to be absolutely entertained. I think there'll be some games where we will be, other games not so much. But I just think we've got a professional approach about us now. And it feels good.
Yeah, I mean, I know we've said it already, but it was a poor Gillingham. But you looked at some of the stats, the passes we had like about 480 passes in the game. They had about 150. It was totally dominant, and our passing accuracy. And I know a little bit, it is a bit tippy-tappy, a little bit keep the ball. But, if we've got the ball, we stand the best chance. And it's just, I think, just perhaps some of that dynamism that when you see the goals, that rush forward, you see the wingers move, you see Wells' movement, it's top quality. And I think, I'm hopeful based on what I've seen.
I watched a couple of Gillingham supporters' reviews of the game, and the first thing they say is you could tell that we were a class above them, totally, and dominated the game, which is what you want to hear when you're playing that that sort of league.
Yeah, it's one of those ones. On paper, you look at it and go, "Well, that team should beat that team 3-0," and we did. So we went.
But in the past, Aaron, we'd have gone like that, and we'd have been under the cosh, and we'd have come away with a 1-0 defeat.
I think that's what I'm saying about the professionalism. I think the players know how to get the job done now, and how to go about that, and managing games. Probably. Hark back to Nathan Jones, but Nathan Jones was a good in-game management, and probably we haven't had that since him. We talked about Edwards in the Premier League. Away at Newcastle, it's all fun, but if we'd managed the game in real time, what was it, 4-2 up? You've got to
win that game.
You've got to win that game. Yeah. So maybe we've got stronger in-game management now as well, which is great.
It felt like straight from the off we was on it at the weekend, Kevin. I thought actually you talk about a dominance. I know it took to the 43rd minute, but it was only a matter of time before we scored, right?
Yeah, there was never any doubt that we were going to win that game from the very beginning, and I think there was a disallowed goal, wasn't there? I think it was but it didn't. It was a bit weird. I couldn't work out why it was disallowed, but it was Naismith, wasn't it? I think he scored.
Naismith scored. I think the keeper again found himself on the floor, whether he chucked himself there. But when you scanned across, you went, "There's no Luton player near him," unless I missed something.
Yeah,
it was just a bit of a strange one.
Was he a Stockport County reserve?
No,
it's quite funny. Punch in the chest.
I don't know if you caught it, but I flipped over at the end, and Stockport had penalty shootout against Doncaster. The Stockport fans, they took more to Doncaster than they took to Wembley. Honestly, it was an enormous amount of support, and then they lost the penalty shootout.
Oh, did they? Oh, what a shame.
Yeah, never mind.
What a shame. Can we talk about the first goal of the game? Because what a movement of the ball! What a slide rule passed from Luca to Wells. I mean, you saw Wells just say, "I'm going to go there now," but that was like nice through bar.
We're talking about Benny a minute ago, and we're sort of overshadowing Luca.
Yeah.
He looked good in Spain. Again, if we look back, he scored against Barnet at the back post. He scored against Walsall. In the behind closed doors game, this lad is a decent player. He's a decent player, and I know they rate him.
And possibly out for a few weeks.
Well, this is the thing.
It's a real shame for him.
It's still interesting to see what kind of player he is. But that goal in particular, he found that wonderful, almost the Luke Berry pocket, just outside the box. Nobody picked him up. And the weight of pass on that ball through to Wells. And Wells is what, 34, 35, and he's still making runs of...
Wells's movement was exceptional.
Yeah,
I mean...
Top level.
It was top level. And no one's really talked about his finish, but his finish was
class.
Really, really
Absolutely
good.
Class.
But it all starts with... It's a combination. It's a team goal. And Luca, he's got a good awareness. I mean, if you watch the playback, to be fair, there isn't a Gillingham player really near him, and probably ought to be. But he's seen that. He's had the vision. They have executed that perfectly.
And then sadly, beginning of the second half, he goes on a run and just pulls up.
By all accounts, it seems like, for even though he's really young, he has had injuries in the past. So you just hope this isn't a Shandon Baptiste kind of... there's a player there, but you just can't get him fit. You just hope they can get him fit and keep him fit, because it seems like he's going to have a role to play somewhere down the line.
I agree. I've got a mate he's a Notts County fan, and he was at Notts County last year, and he said it was their player of the year. He said, but he missed half the season and through injuries, and so let's just hope that we can manage his fitness, we can get him back. He's clearly got a bit of confidence about him.
But that is one thing the club have been, although we've got lots of injuries. Pelly came to us and struggled, then we got him through so many seasons that we tend to get players of that ilk. Okay, Baptiste is struggling, but let's hope he's it's not as bad as first feared, and he gets to play a part.
I mean, there's not a lot more to say about the game apart from we were dominant, and I don't remember Keeley having to make too many saves, if any.
I don't think he did any. I don't think he had to. No.
I'll tell you what impressed me a little bit. Let's talk about Benny's goal. What impressed me was his ability to get to that ball when it flew out, and I'm sorry, this is the sort of sort of like striker that you want to go there and get it. Do you know what I mean? It's or the person making sense. He might let that out. It's a typical like poacher's goal almost. But he was quick to get in front of that defender. I like him.
Well, again, it's this role that please, somebody that knows more about tactics than I do, tell me what kind of roles these are playing. Whether it's a winger, whether it's a left forward, whatever it is. We're so fluid. You can never tell whether we're playing a 4-1-4-1, a 4-2-3-1. Whether it drops as a 4-4-2 at times. So wherever these players are playing, it's just a pocket rather than a position, I feel. And he played that position so well, and he got in the box and he took his chance. And all I can think is Gids is sat on that bench who's been playing that role for goodness how long and hasn't scored from that position. We'll come back to that in a second, obviously. But he had, you're right, Dave, he had the insight to follow in, be in that position. Because too many times last year, the ball goes into the box or someone has a shot, it parries out, and there's no one there. No one in it. So fair play to the lad.
And he was just quick in front. And to do that, and he didn't know his family were in the stands.
Yeah.
And he took the accolade at the end.
And again, it was from a well shot. Was it Clark that slid Wells in and then got the shot away?
Again, well worked move.
Yeah.
Icing on the cake comes in the 78th minute, 3-0, and you was about to say, but he did the same thing, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, could you? He knows where the goal is, and he is hungry to score goals. I think we just don't know where he's best placed on the football pitch at the moment, and I think that's his challenge. And I think now he's probably, if this young lad does develop, looked more natural there than Gideon does. I love him. I love Gideon. I think, but it just something shifted, didn't it, halfway through the year last year, and we didn't quite see the same from him at the end of the season as we did at the beginning. And he's still a young boy, right, and still needs some development. But look, it was desire, it was hunger.
Yeah,
he put his head where it was dangerous, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And, he got caught, but he wanted to score, and fair play to him, he did it.
We spoke at length when we were in Spain, Kev, about the problem with the formation, or however we're playing. There's two players in particular that are suffering because of it, and one probably more than the other for me. Gid's got his goal. He is suffering. He's not a left forward, left winger. He doesn't want to play there. Jack says he doesn't want to play there. Jack doesn't think he can play that role. But where else do we put him? Because we want him in our team. Because he's a good lad and he's a good player. And when he played off the right or down the middle, he scored a bag full of goals in a short space of time. The one for me that is really suffering is Jake Richards. He can't work his way into this formation. He's a lovely player, Jake Richards, but he needs to play in the middle. But you're not going to drop Palmer. You're not going to drop Clark. And I just feel like it's square pegs and round holes with Jake Richards, because for me, I just can't. He can't get himself into a game, and he can't get an assist. He can't look through that list we were saying about. He's not on there, and I don't think he's a winger. What is he? And I really fear that we've got a lovely player, a great player there, but both those two we are struggling to make work in our team.
Although it's good to have him in a squad.
Well,
having a good squad, it means you can push people into those places if he's not fitting there in the. What I'm trying to say is, take out whoever gets injured or whoever's not playing so well, he slots in. You're there, aren't you?
I think the depth point is really important. But I guess, to your point, he's a young lad, he's talented, he's going to want to play games, right? And I think overall though, it looks more solid through the midfield. I really like Walsh and Clicker, like that. Obviously it goes without saying. We remember sitting here a few months ago going, we're not sure if Walsh is going to sign, we're not sure if Clicker's going to sign. Wouldn't it be great if we got Palmer? We got them all.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so now we've got, the problem is from a management perspective is how do I fit this together when I need to fit it together? But yeah, I think Richards is young enough to know that his time will probably come, and and may well develop to be more centrally positioned.
I can't help feeling though, we were talking about Ashby earlier, and actually at this level, if Ashby can become a right back, I'd put Jones there. I'd put Jones on that right instead of Richards, because Jones can drop a shoulder, take someone on, go round the outside, and we know Jones can score. I'd see him more there with an Ashby at right back rather than Jones at right back and Richards just inside. I think that combo works better for me.
Yeah. Are you a little bit surprised that Jones is still here? Part of me was thinking he might be one of them that might not make it through to the next season.
I'm excited he's staying.
I'm excited he's staying.
Yeah.
I'm just a little bit surprised he's still here.
I'm surprised in the sense that I don't know whether he sees himself as a right back and he's being played at right back. For me, he's a winger. He looks like an old school winger. Get him out wide. What's the saying? Get chalk on your boots. Get out wide. Get it in, and you'll score the odd goal. And
showing your age.
Yeah,
showing your age.
But I think that's what Jones is, but he can do a bit of defending, and that's what I'm saying. If you've got Ashby, who's a defender,
Yep.
and put Jones in front of him, for me that's stronger, and it's harsh on Richards. But Palmer's not going to play every minute of every game.
Exactly.
That's where Richards comes in. But then you kind of need the same over on the left, but yes, it's good strength and depth, but you've got to keep these boys happy.
Before we stop talking about the Gillingham game, I just want to say, Hatters Heritage, I don't know where you get all your info from, who is supplying it, but you get some lovely facts, and thank you for letting us use these. Gareth Ainsworth becomes the first manager to lose against Luton in the second, third, fourth tier FA Cup and League Cup, and also the first manager in 23 years to lose 5 in a row against the Hatters, and long may that continue. I'm devastated for
I'm
Gareth.
absolutely devastated for him. We've had to put up and watch his boring football for that amount of time.
I mean, it'd be nice if he got a job in League One this season, wouldn't it? Because just let's carry it on.
Yeah, when we need 6 points.
Gillingham, I mean, like that song, Is There a Fire Drill? There was hardly anyone there, and I'm not surprised, because why do you want to go and watch his style of football? But there we go.
And the thing is, why would you want to go and watch the Carabao Cup in the very first game of the season, on a Saturday when it's normally a midweek game and all that sort of stuff? It just, although it's exciting now, if you've told us now that we're going to Chelsea, it's quite exciting. We're going to have a nice evening out, aren't we? I think that's what's going to be on, and maybe a few bevies.
Absolutely, maybe we will.
Sounds good.
So I'm quite excited for Saturday against Reading. I'm quite excited. Genuinely feel that we're up there for a shout. If you look through some of our other, again, social media and other people's predictions, they're all putting Luton in top 6. Some automatic, some top 3. What's your thoughts?
I think it's really impossible to ignore the stats at the end of last season for the team. So if you look at that second half, the last 16 games, we are a top 2 team in that last 16 games. We just didn't do enough to make it in the end. And we got what we deserved over the course of the season. I think we've built on it, right? I think the squad's stronger. I think we've built on it. I think Jack's got his way in terms of how he wants to set up. I think the challenge is, I actually think the league will be stronger. I think last season the league wasn't great, wasn't as competitive as I think it will be this year. And when you look at Leicester, Plymouth, Sheffield Wednesday, Reading, Huddersfield, Luton, plus then I've not talked about Stockport, that are always in and around it. Bradford were in and around it.
I'll chuck Mansfield in there as well.
So I think it will be highly competitive. I have high hopes. I think that we will be top 4.
I hate to say this also, there's a lot of people back in Milton Keynes as well, because they've come up, they're playing well, and they've
spent a lot of money. They spent a lot of money. It didn't help them in the Carabao Cup, did it?
No, but you never write them off. Never write them off.
No.
So, Darren, are we top 4 or are we higher than that?
It's a real difficult one.
It's quite early to say. We won't hold you on this, but you did predict Spain to win the World Cup.
Yeah, and actually this time last year you asked me the same question, where will Luton finish, and we can look back, but I said around 8th. I didn't think we were ever going to make the playoffs. I said that pre-season, after I watched the pre-season last year, said we won't make the playoffs, and we didn't. So
are we making the playoffs this season?
I think it's so difficult in the sense of you've got 2 unknown quantities in Leicester and Sheffield Wednesday, because we just don't know what's going to happen there.
Do you not think there's a lot of Leicester people saying, "Oh, we're just going to bounce back up"? And we were like that when we got relegated, and we realise now how difficult it was, and they were atrocious last season.
The level of football It is from the Championship dropping down. Their fans are going to turn up and go, "What on earth are we watching?" Because League One football compared to Championship football is miles apart. Miles apart. Like League One, League Two, not too dissimilar, but Championship, League One, miles apart. They're going to sit there after winning FA Cups, after winning the Premier League, being in Europe. A few years later, they're watching Bromley. You know, and
it's a weird one,
and
isn't
it's
it?
really slow football and everything. And if they don't hit the ground running, I don't know what Leicester fans are like. But if they start getting on their back, it could turn poisonous a little bit like Luton did there.
Sheffield Wednesday as well. They've got a huge backing now.
Sheffield
I mean,
Wednesday,
they've sold out their stadium basically, so their fans are going to be up for it too.
Yeah.
But as we all know, fans don't play the game, do they?
No, and by all accounts, they're still relying on a little, some youth team and you know.
I mean, they brought a few back in, haven't they?
They brought Bannon back in.
Yeah,
and
I mean, he'll do a great job there, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Look, they're spending money. Leicester are spending money. That's what they're going to do.
I think.
Can I just get back to the politicians' answer?
Yeah, is he giving an answer?
Are Luton Town going to get in the playoffs?
I'm not in office anymore. It comes down to the most consistent team, and I think if we can, pre-season served a bit of a purpose there. We picked up where we left off. I think if we can stay consistent, we're top two.
Oh, okay.
I
wasn't expecting that.
No, I wasn't expecting that.
I think if we can keep that consistency going and not get a couple of big major injuries, because we've got strength and depth, but it's good strength and depth, but you know there's no getting away. The starting 11, there's 14, 15 players there that are absolute quality. But it's playoffs minimum, isn't it? I'd like to think we won't be outside the playoffs the whole season.
I'll just bookmark that, everyone. We won't be outside the playoffs. Well, do you know what? I'm with you on that one because I actually thought about it today, and I think we could. Am I being over optimistic? I reckon we could be top two. There are some people putting us up there to win it. But it's, we haven't played a league game yet. So, we might come back from Reading at the weekend and go, we're so wrong.
I think you look at Lincoln, just so consistent last season. If we can emulate
just grind out the results.
Yep.
Just grind out the results, then we'll be better off. We asked you guys, are we going to be challenged for automatic promotion places? And what do you think of Jack's first squad? Lee said, it's still poor with big gaping holes and unbalanced. If you're going to use the youth to plug some of them, fair enough. But in recent years, we've been terrified of giving youth a chance. And I wouldn't be surprised to see them dropped when it comes to must-win games. Dale says, I believe we finished top 6 this season. He'd done well regarding getting rid of some of the players. Looks like he's had to get some out to bring some in, but he's done a good job there. Matt says, I definitely think so. What he had at the end of last season was decent. Now he's strengthened. I think we realistically going through automatics. Alex says, too early to tell. A convincing win against a team that ended 17th in the division below us is not really a telltale of anything. We need to see what we can do against proper league opposition. Lewis, not at the moment. A couple of signings away from top 3 at least. We both said we could even win it today on top 2 at least. Andy, yes, signed the midfield trio and brought in a hungry young striker. We'll need a left winger and another number 10 if Luca is out for some time. And finally, Alex says, surely we'll have to be challenging with a left winger and maybe 1 or 2 more incomes will all be sorted. I think we're all on the same hymn sheet there, aren't we?
Apart from Lee.
Apart from Lee, yeah.
I get what he's. I mean, the gaping holes I don't understand there. I don't see gaping holes in this team anywhere. It is unbalanced. From what I was saying about Richards and Kadir, that is unbalanced. But everyone else is saying the same thing. We're all thinking the same thing. We are Emilio Lawrence away from being bang on it.
Do you reckon it could happen?
No.
I doubt it. I can't see it happening. I know we wish it.
I think if it was going to happen, it would have happened by now. But that's the kind of player, look.
Or we pick up that style of player come January.
No, if you want to be top 2, you need to get him in now.
Yeah. I generally think we're good enough to see what's going on. Reading away. It's always a tough place to go there, not only because the parking's rubbish and the stadium's rubbish, and
it's all a bit rubbish.
It's just a bit rubbish, and every time I go, we're rubbish. But I'm quite hopeful this season that we're going to get a good start.
I think they underperformed Reading last year, and I think it'll be a tough game this weekend. I really do. I don't really bring a downer on things. But
you just did. You just did, Kev. It's your first full season in this podcast, and you bring it down right now.
I just think they'll be competitive.
They'll be up there without a doubt. They came on strong towards the end of it, I think. I don't know what they've done pre-season. Haven't looked. Don't know players in, out, what their scores have been or anything. But I know I was at that stadium when they opened it. We were the first team. We lost 3-0.
Yeah,
Robert Fleck.
It was, and also the staircases weren't finished, and it was just
no pies and
no nothing.
Whatever.
Why do you eat pies?
I don't. Loads of people are moaning.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm with Kev. You know, what a time to put down a marker, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Potentially, they're going to be up there with us. Potentially, they're going to want to be in around the playoffs. You know, you go and beat them, a place that we don't normally go to. You get off to a good start. You're already 3 points ahead of them. A hell of a time to put down a marker.
Just don't lose.
I
think
we'll
just lose. Yeah. Don't lose.
Yeah. I think the only thing that I worry about with the pre-season is even the go-ahead Eagles game. Every game just seemed a bit slow. Even Gillingham, it just seemed a bit slow, and I don't think it's fully the tempo that we're going to be playing at.
Well, the weather's going to play a big part in that the weekend too. I mean, if it's still super hot, they're going to have to have a
hydration break,
drinks breaks. They've always had drinks breaks. Unless let's get away from the World Cup advertising breaks. There have always been drinks breaks in hot weather in this country.
I just don't think we've played. Even Go Ahead Eagles didn't press us. We haven't played a team in pre-season that's come and had a go at us. Maybe
the season starts Saturday. Oh, it started last week, but it starts Saturday.
But that's what I'm saying. Reading at home are going to come and have a go at us, and we haven't really had that test yet. So we'll see.
So, hey, let's start our score predictions for the season. Why not?
Are we?
Well, we're going to do it today, and then we'll discuss it afterwards. Because I never mentioned it at the beginning. So,
I deliberately left it off the running order, Dave, because it's a nightmare. But okay, I will go 1-1.
1-1. Kev?
I also want to go for a draw.
Do you?
I just think that's what we're going to get. But I think we'll score more goals. 2-2 on Saturday.
I'm going for an optimistic 2-0 to us.
Well, I hope you're right.
A steal at the end. I don't care. Look, it's our penultimate season at Kenilworth Road. Power court's being built. There's going to be a lot of tears go when we actually decide. But it's good to see the new stadium going up, isn't it?
I love it. I mean, I use that line a lot going to London for work. And I mean, this summer just starts to feel like there's something literally rising and gaining great traction. So, does feel like there's a lot of work to be done, though, doesn't it? I mean, if you can think about the fact that, in 18 months' time, really should be doing test games, right? And, it's...
But I think a lot of it's sort of being
prefabricated,
and then bringing it in. So you're going to see it go.
It's going to go quick.
There's a hotel just down by Luton Airport. One of them, and I watched them. They were like the back of lorries. They're banging them on, and they're just bolting them together, opening the windows, bolting the next one to it. I suspect it's going to be something like that.
I can remember you asked me. I don't know whether it was the start of last season or halfway through. We spoke about Power Court. And you said, are you excited? And actually, Steve and myself went, no, I'm not bothered. Oh, I'm excited now.
Because you can see it happening.
Yeah. And look, Deggy's doing some great stuff, showing everybody what's going on there with the detailed drawings, Wandering Northerner.
Yeah.
So...
just the club missing out on it.
Yeah, just keep up the good work, those two guys especially, because I'm loving it. I can't wait for the videos to come out. And you can see the progress. It's... Seemingly in the grand scale of things, it looks slow progress. But actually, when you break it down video to video, they're motoring on with it. I don't know how building a stadium looks in the grand scale. I don't know where we should be right now.
When all the big steels go in, you're going to be going, wow, because you'll see it.
Yeah,
you'll see the shape of it. So penultimate one at Kenilworth Road. Let's make it a really good one, and then I'll think about the final one if it's going to happen. How I feel then. I think we just about covered it all tonight, haven't we?
Yeah, we just it's just a get going ready for the season, isn't it?
It's just, do you know what? I just wish it would have been the league game first, because I'd have been more excited. Now the League Cup, could we win that? No. But we're going to have a good tie away. So Reading away is our next one. We will be changing the format eventually, in the next few weeks, you'll see some different things, and we'll keep you informed of that. Watch our socials. If you haven't liked and subscribed and you got this far, please do that. Good luck to Pataro. We wait to hear from you, and I'm sure you're going to share whatever news is when it's applicable. And until next time, thanks for listening, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.